How's it going, everybody? It's DJ on Little Fox, and it's my channel where I talk about anime, video games, cartoons. And today I am doing a live drawing and stuff. So pretty much you guys can jump in if you guys have any questions and all that stuff. Um, you can ask me. I'm going to be doing, well, specifically some coloring versus drawing because I already drew out my drawings. But so far as you can see, I have Demon Slayer right here. So I'm going to be coloring in 6 drawings that I've done of Demon Slayer. So let's get right into it. And I also have some subjects or topics that I want to bring up too. So I'll probably bring that up at some point in this video. But anyways, if my family comes down, I'll probably mute it and continue as I'm going about it. So let's go with it. Never knew you like Demon Slayer. Also, hey, what's happening? Speed Sonic Star Ashes just in time as I got some snacks. Sweet, just in time. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Demon Slayer, but I do like the anime though. Definitely starting to kind of get back into it a little bit. Um, I actually got this volume a little while back during the summer. It's actually for my nephew actually, so that's who it's for. But before I mail it off, I kind of want to read it first, even though I kind of already know what happens. But yeah, but it's been a while for Demon Slayer, so I decided to do a few drawings and stuff, of some of my favorite characters. Right here, I got Tanjiro and I got Nezuko. So how you guys doing today? I know it's Monday and all, and it's kind of a odd, like it's like an odd day to kind of like do a live stream or whatever. But hey, I kind of wanted to get this out of the way, and I wanted to do it while I was live. So yeah, so hopefully I can get all this stuff done by 12. And my phone is charged up, so plenty of time. Not to mention there was some things I know I said from my previous stream that I was going to record the next day or whatever, but I didn't. So here I am doing it because there were some things that I kind of wanted to talk about. So um, like I said, I'll talk about it definitely in this stream. And it's not too much anyways, but yeah. Fine. Just got off of work at 5 p.m. Bit tired, but I'm fine. I just started last week. Nice. I didn't have work today, so that was pretty cool. But I got to work tomorrow, so this probably isn't so smart if I'm doing this up so late. I should be like technically really being in bed early or whatever, but I don't go to work till like 2 and I work till like 8 or whatever, so yeah. Currently busy reading Archie TMNT comics, and they're proving myself they're heavily underrated by the fan base. Yeah, I agree, Ashes. Not because it's underrated, but to be honest with you, the Archie comics, the Archie TMNT comics are like my favorite comic book run on the Ninja Turtles. And if you guys hear any noise in the background, I'm just watching a friend's video. That's not because it was kind of hilarious and entertaining. So I just need to keep myself a little focused. So have any of you guys seen Tales of TMNT yet? Tell me what you guys think about it, because I'm pretty sure you already know my opinion about it. but I'm just animating a Sonic animation but in the 90s still. But I'm not telling what Sonic game is based on. Okay, nice. I would definitely like to see your animation, 90s style. I'm talking like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Sad AM type of Sonic with the little mohawk quills. A lot of people didn't really like that design, but me, I actually liked it. I used to draw like Sonic like that all the time. Or that's how I first drew Sonic. You know, his like classic American box art design. I think it's just okay, not bad, but not great either. Good thing they actually didn't make Pigeon Pete so a brainless moron like I initially thought. Like an anime 90s style, but not. It's not like the American style. Oh, you're talking about like the OVA. And as far as what I think of the show, uh, yeah, I just hate it. And I'm only on like I've only seen like 4 episodes so far. I think the last episode I just saw was the one with Donatello and stuff. I'm just like, like I will say some of it. I wouldn't say it has good moments, but some of it, some episodes, like I would say the Michelangelo and Donatello one was a little redeeming, but for the most part, the whole entire show is boring to me, or it's just like pointless and just a bunch of unfunny jokes and stuff. And I'm just like, this is stupid. Or every time like a random citizen just passed by like the Ninja Turtles, they're like, "Oh my God, you're the Ninja Turtles! You saved the city!" Like some glorified celebrities and all that. So you know, I hate that um in itself. So I'm just like, oh God, so it's gonna be a reaction like to them all the time. Yeah. Yo, hey, what's happening, SSJ Namikaze? How you doing today? I know it's a little late, but I decided I wanted to do this, and I wanted to do it specifically for a live stream. So I'll probably be here for quite a while. As you can see, I'm coloring in some Demon Slayer, and I got like 5 other drawings that I'm about to do. I'm good, bro. You? Yeah, I'm doing good. And stuff. I was off today, so that was pretty cool. But I work tomorrow, so you know how it is. But yeah, I didn't really do too much today besides go out to the store and grab some like groceries and all that. Some snacks and all that. You know, trying to build up some weight since I'm a skinny dude. So They like recommended that I you know, work on like building up my carbs, so it has to be like 2,000 at least every day. So yeah, so I guess the best way to do that for me is definitely having some snacks and all that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I eat frequently, of course. I mean, I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but that's not enough to make it up to 2,000 carbs, though. So, yep. Then I work all that out into some muscle. So, I'd be going to the gym and all that. I know it's been done and over, but did you, Larry popped in on YouTube a few times ago just to leaving comments on Sonic Rush's 141's video, and Larry made a few community posts of things he would say. Huh, I didn't know that. I know I know he's somewhat back on the internet because I actually saw him one time on Twitter actually. Now he doesn't know any of my Twitter accounts, right? Because I don't go by my actual I don't go by my like screen name, Jody Little Fox. I go by some different names. So he saw one of my posts and liked it. But then I think the minute he saw like he might have skimmed through my thing and saw some Sun Amy stuff or saw something that he probably didn't agree with and was like, all right, immediately blocked. So I can't see whatever he posts on Twitter, and I'm not even sure if he still has the account or not. But yeah, but that was hilarious though. But I'm not surprised that he's probably like somewhere on YouTube and has like some kind of new account or whatever. Like Larry is weird. He always be changing up his name. He went from like Crazy Man Larry to his actual name, Sonic Sun Alley fan to like Linux J. That's what he called himself? Yeah. Linux J or something like that. Like, I don't know. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. Meaning he didn't change. Yeah, I bet. I don't expect him to really change like that or change his ways per se. I hope he does change and get better. But nah. I saw you did videos on a girl on YouTube named Haryana. She's got some terrible takes. Yeah, you saw that. Yeah, I definitely used to be going on her and stuff. Um, Haryana, oh my god, that girl was so annoying. Because I just used to look at some of her videos and I'm just like, is anyone not pointing out the stuff that she's saying is stupid? Because she was just so I don't know. And I'm not trying to be that guy that's like, oh, I'm trying to cancel her or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind her grinding or whatever, and like trying to, because she is trying to grind and trying to like, sell stuff or whatever and do her own thing. And that's cool. But seriously, like that chick, oh my god, like the stuff she'd be saying, especially about like white people and stuff. I'm just like, nah, I'm not down with that. Too bad nobody downloaded his videos. I wanted to watch them occasionally to have a good laugh. Yeah, I tried to at least do something like that with Laurie Hughes, where I just like react to his videos or something like that. And then of course there's still some of the stuff like the clips that I have, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really go back to that because I just don't I don't really care that much anymore for it, if I'm gonna be honest. But he's not here now, on that same month. Albert reported him to his mom. Oh, okay. I'm glad I wasn't the only one who thought she was had some bad days. Yeah, for real. Like a lot of people in her comments just be like I don't know, they just be agreeing with her and stuff. I'm like, do you not realize what she just said? Like, or she'll exaggerate something. Like I remember one time she said like the Powerpuff Girls, right? She said femme fatale, the little feminist villain, was like a was a racist. I'm like, where did you get that from? She was like, yeah, well, it's just my headcanon that she's a racist because she's a blonde white girl. Like I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, like a leap right there. Um, the first time I think I ever heard about Haryana, or actually no, I remember that time when she was like Robin as a mean white guy and stuff, and him and Cyborg's like friendship is always racially charged, and I'm like, where are you getting this from? But anyways, I don't know. She just exaggerates a lot. But the first videos I saw from her was the thing she did on Dan Schneider when she said that Dan Schneider was a racist, and I'm like, look, don't get me wrong, I'm not defending Dan Schneider. He is a complete weirdo, but I don't think he's a racist though. That's a little bit I'm like that's just I'm like no, I don't think he's a racist or she was like Butch Hartman's a misogynist, and I know Butch Hartman's done some stuff. Um, but I don't think he's a misogynist though. It's cool. Wait, who's Haryana? Haryana Hook. She's called Haryana Hook. She's a black YouTuber. She's this kind of geek girl that she does her own videos and stuff, just talking about like, pop culture or whatever, stuff usually like on Disney, sitcoms, you name it, Nickelodeon, or just things from our childhood. And basically she kind of likes to deconstruct it down to like a bunch of like social justice stuff. Like if you literally look up like the word social justice warrior, you would definitely find Haryana to be that girl. Like she is like literally that by definition. That is her whole personality. Like I've never heard of the word massage noir until I heard Haryana use it so many times. I've never heard that anyone say that before until she said it. That's who Haryana Hook is. It's so weird. She'd be like, "This massage noir," or that Chris Rock slap. Remember that? She has bad takes on a lot of our childhood shows. She likes to find woke or things wrong with it. Yeah, and then she tries to say, "Well, it's not woke enough, or it's not so and so." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Have you not been paying attention to like what they've been doing for like all these years in the industry and all that stuff? It doesn't work." Then I remember one time she said about the Velma thing. She was like, "Oh yeah, I'm so glad Velma's getting race swap and stuff." Now all of a sudden, like I wasn't interested in a Velma show, but now that I know that she's gonna be a South Asian character, now I'm suddenly interested. Like what? Like she is so weird. But nah, I just don't really talk about her that much like that because it's just like nothing more I can say on her. It's just like no, because she's just gonna say the same stuff over again. I'm just gonna have to word it differently though. Have you seen or interested in watching Batman Cape Crusader? You are underrated. Well, thank you. And yes, I actually have seen Batman Cape Crusader. Um, I was actually interested in like talking a little bit about it with you guys if you guys are interested. But yeah, the show it's not bad. I know they definitely made some changes and stuff, and a lot of people are saying it's woke. And yeah, it is with the whole like making Barbara Gordon black and making her a lawyer and stuff. I'm like, okay. And look, don't get me wrong. I'm starting to get well. I'm not saying I'm used to or I'm liking the race changes. I don't like it, but I'm not gonna complain about it. But my main complaint is like, my main complaint is just like just the story and all that stuff. And earlier, I was just going to myself like, man, I really just don't like this take on Batman, where they kind of just made him like kind of unlikable, and he's just using people or whatever. Like the only times he's actually like genuine is like when he's around children and stuff, and he's like, not like that, but he's around children, and his like better side comes out where he's like compassionate towards them. So that's the best part of me for that version of Batman. But other than that, yeah, he's a complete jerk. Like the actor, he's good voicing Batman, but it's just like he has that playboy kind of voice when he's like as Bruce Wayne, where it's like sounds like he's being fake, and then he has that voice where he's Batman, where he's himself, but he's like a complete jerk, you know, and low key kind of a psychopath too. Like I remember Tyrone Magnus did a little video where he was saying that he was reviewing it and he was saying like yeah, like there's this like flashback where Batman's like a kid and like he just pops up in Alfred's room and it's like I'm gonna make them all pay and you're gonna help me, and then he shuts the door. I'm like yeah, he does look like a psycho when he said all that. I was like what? Like whatever happens to that time when Batman was like praying and all that stuff it was saying, or he was making like a little bit of an oath saying that he will dedicate himself to stopping crime so that nobody can go through what he went through. Basically, that's the whole point, not about revenge. So that was so weird. I don't care what anyone says. Female Penguin is one of the most interesting and intimidating versions of the villain. Definitely much better than his pathetic depiction in Gotham. Female Penguin was awful. Well, I will say this though. And yeah, I don't like Female Penguin either, and that was a very unnecessary thing. But honestly, I see where they got the female penguin idea from. Well, not the idea, but what they did with female penguin in the show. And they kind of made female penguin like, or the Cape Crusader penguin like Mob Mayhem from Batman Beyond. So if you guys remember that mom criminal that like used to like be with her sons and all that stuff, and they used to commit crimes. It was in that egg baby episode where like Terry was like supposed to be protecting the little egg and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what that reminded me of. So I think that's what that's based on, kind of. But yeah, so it wasn't bad. I mean, she was dark, but I wouldn't say that's my preference for villain. I mean, for Penguin though, I just think that this really could have just been a whole other character, but they just used Penguin because well, Penguin's just a popular character, so there you have it. Mm. And then I didn't really care too much about most of the characters though, like that in the show, um, in particular, or I didn't like have any like kind of attachment or anything. And it was weird too because yeah, they also demonized a lot of like some characters that are supposed to be heroic. It was cool seeing Plastic Man in there because Patrick O'Brien, that's actually Plastic Man, Eel O'Brien. Or they even had Spectre in there as Jim Corrigan and stuff, but I didn't like how they made Jim Corrigan a dirty cop and stuff. I'm like, no, I mean, now I don't know comics like that, but I know Jim Corrigan is supposed to be the Spectre, the first Spectre from the Justice Society, and he was a cop that got killed, and then he came back to life as, or not to life, but he came back as the spirit of vengeance, Spectre. So it doesn't make any sense why, oh, this dirty cop will eventually become Spectre. Like, why? Then they made Flash black, and they also made Detective Bullock dirty, and I'm like, Bullock's not dirty. I mean, I know Bullock may be a little rough around the edges, but he's not a dirty cop though. So that was kind of weird to me, that they did all that. I still can't believe somebody actually made a whole show about Kite Man. Still haven't seen it though. Yeah, I'm not really interested in seeing Kite Man. Um, because it's supposed to be the little spinoff from the Harley Quinn show. And I remember them talking about they were going to do a Kite Man show, but yeah, that is stupid. Like, why do a Kite Man show? And there's like so many other characters, so many other heroes that don't even have a show that could use a show. Like, I mean, we can probably get Green Lantern back. We can have Flash. Uh, there's this one YouTuber I watch. He's been talking about like, yeah, Wonder Woman doesn't get any respect that she should get her own damn show. But the fact that we're getting a Kite Man show before a Wonder Woman show is insane. And yeah, it is pretty insane that we're getting a Kite Man show before a Wonder Woman show. And Kite Man is honestly like a D-list type of villain or C-list or whatever, but he's not a top villain like that. Like, I mean, but it was dark though. That female villain, I keep saying female villain. Female penguin did kill her own son and tried to kill the other one and stuff. I'm like, okay, that's pretty dark. But it's just like, yeah, but this literally could have just been a whole other character. I would have been fine with that. But the fact that you made it penguin, and if you remember from like the trailers that they were showing from Batman Cape Crusader, um, they showed a silhouette of the penguin, but didn't show her actual face or whatever. And then later on, when they revealed it and stuff, people were like, "All right, I'm not even gonna give this show a chance or whatever." So yeah, and then spoilers, but they also kind of killed off Two Face too, and like his design wasn't really all that. If I'm going to be honest, um, I know they try to make it like more realistic and hard to look at, but just wanted to point out they kind of got the wrong side of his face, which is funny, because I was like, there's something off about Two Face, and I'm like, because they got the wrong side of his face with the acid and everything. So yeah, but I don't hate the show though. I think it was all right. Little, it was all right, but I just felt like there was definitely some potential there, but they kind of squandered it. Honestly, they should have, instead of making Harley Quinn like one of the main villains or whatever, I feel like they should have made Hugo Strange actually, since or used a lot of other classic Batman villains, but Hugo Strange is definitely a very old and classic Batman villain that they definitely could have used because he's been around since like the 40s too. He's always been more of a psychological type of villain for Batman. So that would make a lot more sense to use him over Harley Quinn, who Harley Quinn was introduced in the 90s. So why is she in the 40s? Honestly, I want new superheroes so bad. I'm tired of endless Spider-Man, Batman, even tired of Deadpool now. I don't know about Deadpool. It's really been a while for like for anything Deadpool. But for Batman and Spider-Man, well, yeah, I get it. There are other heroes and stuff that can probably use some focus or whatever. And Spider-Man, Batman can just be like, I don't know, cameos or whatever. But they are like two of their biggest like juggernauts when it comes to the DC and Marvel. So that's probably why they make all those shows or whatever. But yeah, they really could spare some time and just give it to like somebody, like some other character that can probably use it or something. And I mean a good character, not a random, you know, obscure character or whatever that nobody's never heard of. Or what, you know what I mean? Just like, we don't get enough Batman. Spider-Man isn't getting a movie until 2026. Jesus. And Deadpool's next appearance is unknown. Yeah, that is also true. But nah, but tired of Deadpool though. I'm like, no, I'm not tired of Deadpool. It's been a while since we've seen anything from Deadpool, if I'm gonna be honest. Not only that, but Hugo Strange used to be the main villain for Batman, Batman villain before Pathetic Clown took his role. I don't hate the Joker, but I'm not gonna lie, I am getting sick and tired of seeing the Joker, Harley Quinn, and stuff, and Batman stuff all the time. Um, but yeah, they could have used Hugo Strange, or they could have used even the Scarecrow, because Scarecrow is also a top level Batman villain. He's also been around since the 40s as well. So those were just some of my ideas. I was just like, you guys could have really gone a little bit more in on some of these characters versus what you did. But yeah, I think that could have used Killer Moth since he's such an underrated classic Batman. So in my opinion, yeah, Killer Moth could have been an interesting option. They did have Firefly in there, so that was pretty nice. But they kept calling him like, well, he's called Firebug, but I'm like, nah, Firefly sounds way better than Firebug. But yeah, but Killer Moth though, I know he's like a '60s type character, but yeah. What I did like though is that they did actually have the Robins in there though, but they were like all orphans. I wasn't really a huge fan of how they're all kind of like relatively the same age. Like Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, I can kind of let that slide a little bit, but Stephanie Brown and Carrie Kelly, I'm just like, nah, they should yeah, they should be a little bit younger. Well, they should be much, much more younger than Jason Todd and Dick Grayson if that's the case. But I guess it's a little reference though. But it would have been cool if like Batman took in Dick Grayson and Jason Todd and stuff. and eventually maybe they became Robins or whatever. Um, that's just my idea. And what's weird is like even though I know Bruce Timm worked on the show, he had a different design for like Rupert Thorne. So that was kind of weird to me because I'm like, why don't you just use the design that you have in Batman the animated series for Rupert Thorne, where he kind of like he had a little bit of a overweight George Washington thing going on for him. Beware the Batman is it better than this new Kid Crusader? Yeah, it probably is to be honest. It's been a while since I've seen Beware the Batman though, but it was definitely an interesting show. With Katana and Alfred and all that stuff. Because I think Alfred was supposed to be like Batman. Him and Katana were supposed to be like Bruce Wayne's bodyguards, you know. But my thing is though, I kind of wish that some of Batman's like sidekicks or so other members in the Bat family got more like more spotlight or something because I'm just like, geez, they don't get anything in these series and stuff unless it's Catwoman and stuff because I think Catwoman's been in almost like, and I was telling this to like one of my friends too in real life. I was like, I'm like, dude, Catwoman's been in probably more things than Robin, and that's very sad when you really think about it. She's been in more movies. Like Catwoman has been in way more movies than Robin. Okay, Robin's been in like what two Batman movies, and if you want to count The Dark Knight, maybe three. But Catwoman's been in Batman Returns, The Dark Knight Rises. She's been in the Batman the 2023 one. Like, yeah, she's been in way more stuff than Robin and live action stuff at least. Teen Titans and Justice League are much better than the most Batman shows. Debatable. I mean, I do like the 2004 Batman. I was kind of watching it last night though. Teen Titans is pretty good, but not better than the Batman animated series of the 2004 Batman. Yeah, I mean, I think it's up for debate. I don't think it's like a far fetched. You know, I don't think it's far fetched though, but it's possible. Or it's all like opinionated. Like they were all good and stuff, you know. But it's just like, yeah, I don't like. I can't really tell you which one I think is better. I think I might like the 2004 Batman better than Batman animated series. But yeah, but I grew up with both anyways, so that's pretty cool. And speaking of Batman, 2004, they actually utilized Hugo Strange to be like that type of villain that I'm talking about, like where yeah, he really could have been like that psychological threat for Batman, where he's not like really imposing or he's not really like well, he's a little, you know, he's crazy or whatever, but he's like creepy, like yeah, he's like very creepy though. And just like yeah, they could have like really played on that in that show. Or honestly, I'm pretty sure no one really would have cared that this show was like, oh my god, this show is set in the 1940s. That's what we wanted from Batman. Like, no, I don't really care if they had a Batman show that was set in the 1940s. Or actually, I would rather prefer it be in modern day or something. I don't know. Batman the animated series is overrated in my opinion. Batman Beyond is much darker and overall better written. I do love Batman Beyond. I actually have the entire series of Batman Beyond on DVD, so that's pretty cool. That's a wild take. The animated series is definitely not underrated. Yeah, it's not underrated. Like underrated would be like something that's not really talked about a lot. Um, and then overrated something that's talked about a lot. But overrated, even if something's overrated, I mean, it can still be good. But is Batman the animated series a little overrated? Yeah, a little bit, but it's still a great show and a great series. But that's not to say that the DCAU didn't have other good shows. Like they had Superman the animated series, which I love that series. Of course, Static Shock was pretty good. So yeah, and then Batman Beyond, Justice League, and so on and so forth. Zeta Project though is probably the only show from the DCAU, which I'm pretty sure not a lot of people really heard of the Zeta Project. But yeah, But the Zeta Project was a Batman Beyond spinoff about this robot called Zeta who has this ability to shapeshift, and basically like he's being pursued by the government, basically him and his friend Ro. And then they had a crossover episode inside Batman the animated series. I mean, not Batman the animated series, Batman Beyond. So that was pretty nice. It was kind of towards the end of the series though. So yeah, still 90s Batman show isn't overrated as 90s Spider-Man show. Nah, I think that's vice versa. Um, don't get me wrong, I love Spider-Man animated series and I love Batman the animated series, but I gotta say, Batman the animated series is a lot more overrated than the Spider-Man show and stuff. Which I'm not saying it wasn't like talked about like that because it is, and rightfully so because it was definitely a good series. But that's kind of debatable between like for that generation or that 90s era and stuff between like the most popular Marvel shows. Spider-Man and X-Men, hands down. And most people I think talk about X-Men the most. That's kind of why I got a sequel. Yeah. Definitely like X-Men the animated series and Spider-Man the animated series are like the most popular, all right? Then I would say like maybe Iron Man, and then it might be a tie between Hulk and Fantastic Four. But hey, they were all good shows though. All right. Even though they did have some weird shows later on, like well, I know a lot of people talk a lot of trash about Spider-Man Unlimited, but I actually like Spider-Man Unlimited. I thought that was a good show. I know it's a sequel to Spider-Man animated series, but it was pretty good. I actually liked Spider-Man's costume in that. It looked pretty cool. The nanotech and all that. I was like, man, that's an awesome outfit, especially with the cape. Even though Spider-Man probably shouldn't be wearing capes because he's more of an acrobatic type character. So yeah, I get it. But no, I meant like shows like Silver Surfer. That was kind of a little boring in my opinion. And oh god, that Avengers not Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That was a great show, but Avengers United They Stand, or no, not United They Stand. Um, it was like the West Coast Avengers or something with Falcon and Hawkeye. But yeah, yeah, I think it was United They Stand or something like that. That's what the show was called. Yeah, that show was kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie. Both are good shows. Maybe some people make them more than they are, but I didn't think they were overrated. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're great series though, and I don't get tired of watching those shows. Spider-Man Unlimited was fun, but definitely not as memorable as 2003 Spider-Man show or the Spectacular Spider-Man. Talking about the MTV. Well, you said Spider-Man Unlimited. Hmm. Well, yeah, Spectacular Spider-Man was definitely better. I will say that. MTV, that's kind of debatable too, but that's pretty original. Hey, what's up, Shiny Eevee Evolution Cosplayer Games Corner? It's an interesting name. All right, I think I'm about done with this one. Probably won't be able to get done with all of them today or tonight. But oh yeah, still got color in the sword. Look at me looking using the what you call it, the not so good gray marker. MTV Spider-Man had the most tragic and creepiest version of Electro, in my opinion. Yeah, I remember he was like bullied or something. Like he used to like go to their little college or whatever, and he got bullied there, and then he like killed a student and all that. Yeah, and the MTV Spider-Man was pretty dark. They even had Michael Clark Duncan on there as a Kingpin, so that was pretty cool. and they made a lot of their own original villains on that show that are kind of like reflections or based off of like other Marvel characters that they probably can't use. Like they had a character that was like this top level fighter like Elektra. They had this one chick, I think her name was Talon or something. She's supposed to be like she was dating Harry, but she was like that version of Black Cat pretty much. Um and so on and so forth. Oh god, and then the twins and stuff, they had those psychic abilities. Um and they made Spider-Man push his ex-girlfriend off that building and stuff. And yeah, Indy, she was supposed to be like the Gwen Stacy in that universe, kind of. MTV Kingpin was fun. Definitely one of the most underrated, unique versions of his character. Yeah. If there's one fry missing, boss, I don't eat that crap. Good. But yeah, it looks like it's definitely coming along pretty good. Tanjiro and Nezuko starting to look a little identical to the book. Well, not that identical, but yeah, in my own style. But yeah, so a little bit of a news update, I guess. But apparently my sister's birthday is tomorrow, so that's pretty nice. And then after her birthday, it's gonna be my 10th year on DeviantArt. But I kind of want to do like a little bit of a celebration, so I don't know. I might do an animation, but I'm not sure if I have it ready in time or whatever. But who knows? Like I'll probably explain how you can get better or how you can post better on DeviantArt probably, or how you can get your post to have a lot of attention. Not to say I have like a crazy amount of attention on DeviantArt, but um, depends. You know, I can definitely put myself out there on DeviantArt, as you can see with my drawings here. Speaking of twins, I'm sure that two Flymen guys from the 67 Spider-Man show never got anywhere else, right? Flymen. I'm thinking about those guys. Didn't they like knock down the I know that was like a dream sequence that Spider-Man was having, but didn't they like knock down that little Oscorp tower thing you're talking about with the jetpacks or whatever? Or am I just tripping? Hmm. I'm not gonna lie though, I did like the MTV Spider-Man theme though, and Spider-Man Unlimited. Yeah, they had some good Spider-Man intro music. Spider-Man animated series, Spider-Man Unlimited, the MTV Spider-Man. What else? Spectacular Spider-Man song is pretty good. Like they had some good intro songs and stuff of those versions of Spider-Man. And on top of that, this is actually like a college Spider-Man, so it wasn't like, oh, well, he's in high school. I'm talking about 67 Spider-Man show, that meme one. Hmm. I did watch a little bit of the 60 show. I haven't seen every single episode, or if I did, it's probably been a while. But I think you might be talking about Beetle, right? The guy with the purple and the green suit that doesn't really talk all that much. Mm, I think that's pretty good. First volume. All right. Next up, one of my favorite characters, Michiru Tokita or Tokito. Sorry, I'm kind of new to this character, so I haven't really said his name a whole bunch. So, speaking of superheroes, I have an idea. Do you think a superhero story would work? Oh yeah, you asked me that earlier, and I forgot to respond to it. Um, it's possible, I guess. I never really thought of it. Well, I wouldn't say I never thought about it because I am doing a like on my own kind of story where it's not about superheroes though, but it's more so of like a kind of fantasy type world or whatever. Much like a RPG type of game or whatever. Um, and usually I would like to put like some of the stuff that I would like in there. Not a huge fan of how I drew the sword all slanted like that, but hey, with a little coloring, it'll fix it. But yeah, I mean, depends on the execution, I guess. Because I mean, come to think of it, Spawn actually, or like Ghost Rider, there's been like different takes on them or whatever where they have been in like like different or whoever like has wore that mantle has been in like different settings like those before. So yeah, it could be possible if like done right. Like we have a lot of magic superheroes in Marvel and DC, but they're on Earth instead of like magical dimensions. Depends. Because there might be some superheroes that could be like in other dimensions or whatever. Or they might come from that kind of background or something. But I definitely like Michiro though. He's definitely a pretty cool character from Demon Slayer. At first I wasn't a huge fan, but then when we had that episode with his backstory and all that, and he started to like definitely like was definitely acting like a much more better character. I started liking him a lot more. I was like, man, this guy's like the Virgil or something of Demon Slayer and stuff based off like the way he fights and the way he acts and stuff. So yeah, so I pretty much like him. He's pretty cool. All right, after I finish this, I'll probably talk a little bit about the Phantom Rider arc and stuff from the Sonic comics. It's kind of interesting to get people to have new experience. I talked about the guy who didn't care for Nano's story. He didn't like Notes from Underground at all, but liked the Turtle Titan. Interesting. Speaking of which, that's also something that I was thinking too earlier. Um, with the turtles and stuff inside Tales of TMNT, that they were struggling with these robots and stuff. I'm just like going to myself like, man, the turtles would not struggle this badly against some robots that would just put together just like that. Because honestly, I'm like, if it was like Nano or something, yeah, that could work because Nano actually does like he's really hard to like take down and stuff, unless you can like I don't know, use fire or something against him or whatever. Yeah, or play on his weaknesses. But other than that, you can't just beat him by cutting him up or whatever. So that would have been probably a lot more better if but nah, I don't really want Tales of TMNT to be a good series because it's just not, or a good universe for that matter. So I'm just like, I'm just watching, like I'm just like kicking back, eating some popcorn, and just watching how this show is gonna go or the fall. Then they leaned in on a video game and everything. I'm like, just stop acting like this is a top thing. It's really not. And what's sad is that the 2012 series also has a game too, but unfortunately, I feel like they didn't really put too much like effort into it though, in my opinion. I didn't play it yet, but from the looks of it, and they're saying like there's not much of a story to it. It's just like, oh, well, what's the reason for me for wanting to get invested into it then? I think it would have been interesting for the Turtles to have their own versions of Ultron or like some AI like that. Hmm, maybe. I mean, they do have like certain villains that I would say like, what I mean, but not like on a robot mechanical type level. Depends. Because I'm thinking like, well, Armagon or something, but he's like a cyborg shark, or there's a Verminator X who was in the Archie comics in the 2003 series, but he's like a honey badger in the 2012 series, but a cat in the Archie comics. So, yeah. The only thing I can think of was Overmind from the 2012 series. AI took control of the Fugizoid. It had Warbot's factory on space station. I think I sort of remember what you might be talking about. Is that the episode where like Donatello had to like fix up Professor Honeycutt or something when he went offline or whatever? They needed his intelligence to like save the day, and like Donatello like not only repaired him but made him like much stronger and better than ever. Because that was actually a pretty good episode. Definitely focused on Donatello. A lot of people don't give that version of Donatello too much credit, but he definitely does go through some character development and stuff. Definitely. And honestly, I kind of wish we had more episodes where they were in like space and stuff, or not even just episodes, but more adventures in general, like comics or whatever, where the turtles are like exploring space and they get into like a bunch of like sci-fi shenanigans that way versus constant street level stuff. Because I'm kind of like I'm kind of bored of that now at this point. No, it was on debate of Armagon episode where he also stuck in on the space station. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. I could get this wrong too, but I think you might be talking about when no, I know who you're talking about, Ashes, about Armagon. Yeah, I know. Not Armageddon, but yeah, Armagon, where yeah. I'm also thinking about that Space Beavers episode. Or no, not the Space Beavers. That's the that was back on Earth, my bad. The yeah, when they had the neutrinos enter Michelangelo's brain and stuff, the into like the journeys of Mikey's brain or whatever. That episode. All right, so far we're an hour in. I say Cosmic Ocean and Evil Drake were my favorite 2012 space episodes. Nice. I can't remember, or I can't say if I have a favorite in particular that comes to mind right now. But I definitely did love the space episodes in general. Um, yeah, and like I said, that's pretty much what I want from DMT, for them to go to outer space or something, or a change of atmosphere versus like them like remaining on Earth or whatever, fighting against other mutants and stuff. It's just like, all right, it's overdone at this point, or facing some type of weird prejudice or whatever. I'm like, yeah, it's getting a little bit overdone. Like actually, like put them in space, give them a challenge, have them fight. I don't know, some Triceratons, another gladiator match, something to show them like they're the best of the best for a reason. Oh yeah, the original Carnage was a pretty good episode. I know it was based off the Mirage comic where they went into outer space, but yeah, I guess that's something that comes to mind. Yeah, speaking of which, that just reminds me, the voice actors that voices Jessie and Misty from Pokemon, the English dub, she had passed away and stuff. I learned that earlier this morning from like breast cancer or something. She was only like 49. So that kind of is sucks to hear. Unfortunately, I'm like, man, I don't want to hear about people dying and stuff because I don't want to be like put in a bad mood or just be like, oh man. I'm kind of surprised any 2003 series character like Draco were actually put in the 1987, or yeah, the 1987 Saturday morning cartoon. Yeah, that was pretty cool that they have Draco in there. Been a while since they finally like utilized certain characters, but um, yeah, they're turning them into like a little bit of a like the Pantheon, into like a space mob kind of thing, or space like space gangsters and all that. And I'm like, all right, I like that. I do like that take. But yeah, they got Draco. Who else they got in there? Mammoth and a few others. Like I think Akka or Atta or whatever. Um, and they definitely got Old Hob, so that was definitely cool to see Old Hob in there. And stuff. He's there as like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, there's Old Hob. And again, Old Hob's not like my favorite character or anything in particular, but it's just nice to see him. I'm like, oh, okay. So this is what they did with that version of him. Then they got the Rat Queen, who I was like, when I first saw her, I was like, is she new or something, or is she like some kind of like toy that I've never seen before? And I'm like, oh, so she's a new villain that was supposed to be introduced, like that's being introduced later. So I'm like, all right, I got you. Not to mention they finally used Scratch, the cat criminal from the '87 action figure. Yeah, there's a lot of action figure characters, or even video game characters for that matter, that they could actually use, like Scale Tail and stuff. That was a character that was in the video games, and I think he had a toy, but he never was in like any of the show. I feel stupid. There you go. but hopefully they will use the next mutation characters aside from Venus. I want to see Bone Steel and Doctor Queeze. I need to watch. I seriously need to. If I'm going to be committed to watching, or not even committed, but if I'm going to watch Tales of TMNT, I need to watch the entirety of Next Mutation. But after that whole Hunter episode and stuff, I was like, oh my god, this is so cringe and so weird that they did that. And what's funny is I'm actually watching the Power Rangers and stuff. I actually watched it today. I was watching Power Rangers Turbo. That's the season I'm on right now because I had rewatched Mighty Morph earlier this year, and I saw Zeo. So currently I'm on Power Rangers Turbo, and it's a pretty good series. I know some people I can probably see like how certain things got a little controversial later, or I'm not at the part where they recasted so on and so forth. But yeah, yeah, but it's a pretty good season though in my opinion. Definitely feel like Power Rangers definitely like they do character development pretty well, even if it is a little corny and stuff. But some of it was pretty good. Like, Turbo is good, but not as good as Space or even Time Force. Yeah, I need to watch those shows. I haven't really seen Space or Time Force. 17 minutes before it's 12 o'clock, which I probably should have done this earlier, but I was like, let me hold off a little bit. Kind of looks, kind of makes me sad that Power Rangers Samurai are usually overlooked because of the Mega Force, but that was actually a good show. I haven't really seen Power Rangers Samurai. I only saw up to like, I think when I my dropping off point from Power Rangers back when I was a kid was probably Overdrive or maybe Mystic Force. It was one of those two. Overdrive is one of the darkest Power Ranger shows, if you ask me. It's been quite a while. I do remember the Red Power Ranger, Mac, was actually a robot, so that was pretty interesting. I think it was kind of one of my favorites actually, back in the day. Well, anyways, let me take a break on that. So, yeah, my drone of Tokita. All right. So before I did the outline, there are some subjects that I wanted to cover, which is the whole purpose of this live stream. And in general, Disney Era is one of the best Power Rangers in my opinion. Okay. Anyways, there are some things I kind of wanted to cover real quick. Sonic. Let me pull up the other comic too. the Phantom Rider arc, issue 69 to 71 currently. And what do I think of it so far? So far, it's not bad. The start is kind of a little average, you know. It's not bad, but it's like, oh, okay. There's somebody that's clearly a saboteur that's within the clean sweep industries and all that stuff. So, Sonic, Tails, and Amy decide they wanted to investigate, so they work with Dr. Eggman in order to do so. And now we have issue number 70, which honestly, this is probably my favorite issue right here, where Sonic appears as the Phantom Rider. So I thought this was pretty interesting, and I actually like some of the moments, especially with Surge, because you finally see her like her and Kid are like actually happy for once and stuff, and they're actually like getting a break or whatever. And then like later on, they decide, maybe we kind of like want to like they want to like actually become heroes and do the right thing for once, because originally they were just doing this to like you know because they're working for Clutch, and they were like, all right, well, we're doing this for Clutch because we want to kill Sonic and we want to take down the restoration and all that because we just don't like them. But after all this, they're like, you know what? We really got to set things right. Then we have this issue, which is issue 71. Wasn't in particularly like my favorite, like well again in particular, but this just felt more of a side story for like the supporting characters and stuff more so than like Sonic and his friends, like Sonic, Tails, and Amy. Because after like Sonic's revealed as the Phantom Riders by everyone here, which is the Babylon Rogues, Tangle, Whisper, Lionel Lynn doesn't know, and Surgeon Kid, and then Mimic. Um, Pretty much Sonic's gone for like most of the issue, and it's just everybody's like you know thoughts or whatever all jumbled up together, their motivations, and just who like how they're going to go about this going onwards and stuff. And then Clutch finding out that Sonic's the one that's the Phantom Rider and stuff, and he's been trying to mess with his plans. He ain't too happy about it. He talking about, man, I'm about to feed Sonic his quills one by one if he messes with me. So yeah, so it's definitely nice seeing like the newer villains definitely step up and whatnot, and like seeing Sonic get challenged in different ways because I'm always getting a little tired of like seeing him always fight Dr. Eggman because I mean it's gonna be the same result, Like he's gonna fight Dr. Eggman, win, and that's the end of the story. And then on to the next adventure, Dr. Eggman might reawaken some like ancient creature or something like Chaos or that dragon character from Sonic Superstars and so on and so forth. So it's just like, yeah, that's cool and all, but can we get something else? Like, can we get Infinite back? Can we get like the Deadly Six? Like, you know, just a little change of pace. That's not so much to ask. But anyways, but that's just my take on the Phantom Rider arc. So far so good. The stuff it's not bad in my opinion. Um, Definitely where once I want to see where it goes. But yeah. Then I know I said in the title that hang on. Can't wait to see Sega screw up Black Doom again and Sonic X Shadow. We'll have to wait and see. I hear they're having a Shadow manga, so that should be pretty fun. But Black Doom, I'm not sure what they'll do. He could probably just be a cameo, or maybe he might actually be a part of the whole thing. And Shadow might have his own side thing going on where he's fighting Black Doom. That should be fun. But yeah. But I was gonna say A little update. I know I said this in the title, but my future animation system. So like what animations will I be doing or whatever. So I wanted to talk about that here that I didn't get talked about last time. All right. So here's some of my ideas. Some of them aren't exactly done yet, or it's not solid. But I kind of wanted to do a Tifa versus Yang kind of animation and all that stuff, where Tifa fights Tifa Lockhart fights Yang Jialong, so you get a little bit of a rematch from Death Battle, and you get the actual true winner, which I'll leave that to your imagination. But yeah, I kind of wanted to do that, and I already got started on the drawings and all that stuff, or I have the drawings for a while. I just haven't like really digitally traced over it or anything, or I haven't animated anything yet. But that's kind of on the table. Then I was thinking about doing a Hinata gauntlet, so that should also be pretty fun too. And then I wanted to make I wanted to actually make a little bit of an animated series for one of my favorite Darkstalkers characters, and that is Felicia. Yep, might do a little bit of an animation on her and stuff. A couple of animations about her and her world of Darkstalkers and all that. This is my little Felicia statue. If you guys let me move it a little bit. Yep, have it right here, right in front of my face for safekeeping. And then after that, let's see, and then maybe a Team 7 and TMNT crossover. So, because of the whole Naruto TMNT thing that they have going on, I was thinking about doing like a little bit of them having a little interaction thing. So it's not going to be much animation, just them having a lot of speech bubbles or whatever. So I thought that would be cool. Then maybe a ramen and a half animation, and yeah, that's about it for what I can think of as far as animating goes. But yeah, those are some of my plans though, or what I do plan on, or that's maybe on the table, I guess you could say. But yeah, well, hopefully I can have this all done by this month. But only time will tell, I guess. Anyways, after I finish this, I might actually end the stream since it's almost about to be 12. So, you know, can't be doing this all night, unfortunately. But yeah. But if you guys have any final questions or whatever you might want to ask me, I'm still here. I know this hasn't exactly been a completely lit stream as it was last time, but still, it was pretty fun talking to some of you guys and stuff. Showing off my art. Excuse me, talking about Ninja Turtles and stuff, and definitely about Cape Crusader because I definitely wanted to kind of talk about that too with some people because I'm just like, it's not a bad show, but it's like, um, and again, it's not the race swaps or whatever that bothers me the most or whatever. I've already just come to peace like, all right, let me just just pretend like this isn't a thing or whatever. But then the whole uh, but some of the other stuff is just like, yeah, like I just can't like really root for anyone in the show, or I don't really find anyone like except for maybe Catwoman. Catwoman was actually a pretty fun character. in that show. But she was a villain though, so there was that. And she was, yeah, and a lot of people would definitely say, yeah, she was pretty good. Um, I like the young Dick Grayson and young Jason Todd, which is weird because they have an older version of Barbara Gordon as a lawyer, but then they have, you know, Jason Todd and Dick Grayson as kids and not the same age as Barbara Gordon, which that doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, it is what it is. All right. I think I'm just about finished and stuff. Unfortunately, I was not able to get to the other characters, but maybe in a video or something I could probably do like a speed draw or whatever and show you guys what I have done. So yeah, but I have Tanjiro, Nezuko, Michiru. I was gonna have all of them colored in today, but nah. Well, anyways, it's the end of the stream. I think we need a Wonder Woman show that would actually redeem her character again. Yeah, that actually could work. Um, because there's just a lot that people don't know about for like Wonder Woman. That is, so it's like, yeah, a show about her, especially in modern day, would definitely help. Versus giving us a show about I don't know Harley Quinn or whatever and all that stuff. Where yeah, they were good as like side characters and stuff, but not as like a main character though. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is the Joe and Low Fox. I'm out. Peace. And until we meet again.